Hello, welcome to my channel. In this episode, we'll take a look at the African violet miniatures and semi-miniatures that are blooming this month. Here is Honey Blue Ace, a miniature by Hortense Pittman. It's an older variety that is a very good bloomer and an easy grower too. It has symmetrical medium green rosette with blooms that are medium blue with white edge. Here is a miniature by Adams called McKinda Girl. It has girl leaves that are supposed to be variegated, so the variegation just barely is showing in the center, and the bright cerise single pansies. And behind it is what I think is a sport of McKinda Girl, because it grows as a semi-miniature. Here you can compare the sizes of the rosettes, and the rest of the characteristics are the same. It has girl leaves and cerise single pansy blooms. This is Kentucky Gooseberries, a semi-miniature by David Rawlings. It has white rose-like blooms with pink center, and it is a prolific bloomer. Here is a new variety in my collection that I just got from Linden Lion in fall of 2020. It's a semi-miniature by Linden Lion Greenhouses and Paul Serrano called Cupids Jewel. It has light plum double blooms with darker plum eye, and it just started the first blooming cycle. I haven't groomed the rosette yet, so you can see some spots on the leaves, and I will be removing these leaves. I think these are from the shipping in colder climate, because it came in October. This is Sassy Sister by Sydney Serrano. I got it from Linden Lion Greenhouses earlier this year. It has ruffled pink blooms with green edge and beautiful medium green wavy serrated leaves. Here is a miniature trailer by Yelena Libetskaya called LE-Shotlandskii Veresk, or LE Scottish Heather. That's an English translation of its name. It has variegated elongated leaves and bell-shaped lilac color blooms, and it just started blooming. It's a very unique variety. Here is a 2018 hybrid by the same hybridizer, Yelena Libetskaya, called Scales. It is just starting to bloom. It has heavenly blue, light blue, double blooms, and it appears to have also the white edge around the petals. And the variegation on this semi-miniature is crown, platinum pink with some medium to dark green. Here is Ness Satin Rose, a semi-miniature by Ness. It has two-tone double mauve pink blooms and dark green serrated leaves. Next to it is a new plant for me, a new variety that I just recently acquired this year. It's a semi-miniature by Nadezhda Bertnikova, produced in 2016, and it's called N-Charoit, or in native language N-Charoit. And Cheroite is a mineral that is very rare. It has lavender color and it's mined in Siberia. And it's just starting to bloom, but I wanted to show you the variegation on the leaves because it's so beautiful. I'm looking forward to show you the blooms next month. Here is the first blooming cycle of Rob's Chili Willy. It's a miniature by Ralph Robinson that has crown variegation and beautiful semi-double blue blooms. And here is its sport twin. It's a same variety Rob's Chili Willy that I got from my club's raffle, but it's darker in color. But you can see and compare the blooms. They look almost the same, and the foliage is darker in color. Here is the first bloom of Optimara Little Trio. It's a 2017 miniature produced by Optimara, and I grew it from a leaf that I received from the official Optimara distributor, Selective Gardener, in the spring of 2020. It has beautiful three-tone white, lilac, and green single pansies. Here is a micro miniature by Ralph Robinson called Rob's Bed Bunny, and it keeps on blooming for a couple of months now. It's a very generous bloomer. It has crown variegation and semi-double pink to bright pink pansies. Here is Uptamara Little Maya, a semi-miniature by Holtkamp. It has very vivid, rich, dark red single pansy blooms and medium green plain rosette. This is a miniature by Ralph Robinson called Rob's Smarty Pants. The blooms are supposed to have some blue fantasy on them, but right now they appear to be light pink. There's some very faint fantasy here. Here is another miniature by Ralph Robinson called Rob's Voodoo Blue, with dark blue double blooms and plain medium to dark green leaves. Here is Jolly Sun Chaser by Hortense Pittman. It's a mature plant and it has serrated dark green leaves, and the blooms have white and some yellow eye in them. I like the shape of the petals on this variety. Here is Rob's Calypso beet by Ralph Robinson. I like the symmetry of the rosette on this one, and it is just beginning to bloom. So the blooms are supposed to have some blue fantasy of a dark pink to lilac or lavender color petals. Right now the fantasy is not visible because the blooms are just opening up. Here is a semi-miniature by Nadezhda Bernikova, produced in 2014, called N-Igrav Beezer, and it translates as N game beads. It has variegated foliage, and the blooms are white with some purple, bluish edge around the petals. Next to it is Rob's Cotton Ball by Ralph Robinson. It has very full white blooms with some green and some purple shading in the center. This is a Ukrainian hybrid by Natalia Lutaya from Dnipropetrovsk. It's called NL-Paskhal'nyi Perezvon, and it translates as NL Easter Chime. It has variegated foliage and bell-shaped pink blooms, and it's finishing its first blooming cycle. This is Rob's Funny Bunny. It's a semi-miniature by Ralph Robinson. It has beautiful variegated rosette and single pink blooms with some white edge. And it has a lot of flower buds coming up, so it's going to be a good blooming cycle. Here is MaxBasic Black with Pearls by George MacDonald. It's a semi-miniature variety with very dark purple to almost black blooms with white edge, and it's finishing its blooming cycle right now. Here is another Max Voodoo Yoodoo. It has beautiful plain foliage that is serrated around the edge of the leaf, and dark red single and semi-double blooms. And finally, here is a miniature by Hortense Pittman, Jolly Jubilee. It's a very young plant with golden crown variegation and very dark red burgundy single pansy blooms. So these are all of my miniatures and semi-miniatures that are blooming right now. We are in the month of December, and today is December 29th, 2020. This concludes my monthly bloom series for the year of 2020. Wishing you all a happy new year, and I will see you next time in 2021.